Hi, I wanted to share why I'm so passionate about what I do with other people and how I help other people. I grew up with two very strong women who did all for their family. My grandmother, at a very early age, became a servant in other people's homes to help support her family and continued to do so throughout her life. She began to cook and got a reputation as a good cook, and she was hired to cook at restaurants and at hospitals. But it was a very thankless job back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. She not only supported her family, but she also supported her sister's family and her 6 children. And so the sister was supposed to take care of my mom, and so it was just one of those pieces where, the family worked together. So we always understood that about family helping each other. My mother, as a single parent of 3 that were left at home, she also was a hard worker, an educator, and as you know, any professional, or in any profession, you need to continue to educate yourself and get accreditation or licensing so that you can continue to make more money and also do the craft that you're doing well. And my mother is a perpetual student, so I got that piece of her also. But their work ethic was so incredibly strong. My grandmother continued once my mother brought her over with her. My mother was 14 in 1948, and she brought my grandmother from New York, found an apartment, would translate for my grandmother, and was able to get them settled here. So again, this strong sense of helping family, of serving people, because they both help other people also, not just the family. And my mom, as I began to say, showed me this work ethic, showed me this always give back, always give more. But what I notice is my grandmother did not know how to take care of herself or to pamper herself. She was always working, and when her mind was sharp in her 90s, well into her 90s, but her body couldn't take it anymore. And she was bedridden for about, I would say, the last 12 years of her life. And we're not sure if she was 98 or she was 102. So she felt betrayed because she didn't know how to be still. She was always serving or working for others. And my mom, I think the revelation came to her about that time, and my mom was in her 60s, that, maybe I need to start doing some stuff for myself. My mother worked till she was 72, and learned how to pamper herself a little bit. She would prefer to, let's go out and, let's do our nails or whatever. She always wanted somebody to go with it. And it later on, she learned how to pamper herself by herself. And so that in and of itself helped me to realize that people need to learn to pamper themselves. And then my story is that the revelation that even though you can be very good at what you do for the corporate world, if you don't value yourself and you don't take time for yourself, then it doesn't matter, because they're not going to value you either. And so I've learned to be very aware of my value and my worth, but that took work. And so now, as a transformational coach, helping overextended people fall in love with taking care of themselves, that's part of the process of what we do. We look into ourselves and see how we define ourselves, how we describe ourselves. Is that true now, or was it true when we were children? It's that internal language that people have that could either uplift them or could keep them down. And so that's what I do. I help people fall in love with taking care of themselves so that they can live the life they desire and deserve, This is Gigi Santiago, Transformation Coach. Bye.